Hey guys, and welcome to Janet being Janet. Okay, Amberlynn viewers do not get to see me like this often. Miss Katie viewers get to see me like this pretty regularly because I do this during the day. Yeah, so you usually get me early in the morning or late at night because it's a lot easier for me. But what I do is I find videos on YouTube and I start watching them. And the only videos you see are the ones that I decide to post, especially these retro ones. And I have found a retro one, obviously, that I have enjoyed talking to Amberlynn, because that's what I do. I just talk to Amberlynn. And I film myself talking to Amberlynn and looking into a camera, because let's face it, I will talk to Amberlynn or whoever I'm talking to, with or without a camera, so why not film it? That's how I look at it. But I have got to get ready to go to town. So I'm going to take you on that journey with me, as well as me talking to her. So I hope you enjoy this while I take care of these later. Yeah, not much later, but yeah, they get my priority along with my kids. My husband, he's backseat.
Hey guys, so welcome to a new video. So I'm using my camera, which I haven't done in a little bit. This is actually the first time I've ever used my camera without a tripod.
She normally uses her phone because she is a little lazy. Okay, she's got a really nice camera, or had a really nice camera, and she uses the phone because it's a lot easier to handle. Yeah.
Because I feel like when I'm like filming and stuff, I have this huge tripod that I hold. It's really annoying. Whenever you guys see me say, oh, I can't find my tripod, it's because I'm using my phone.
Yep, then that's where it goes. I feel like I have to have my glasses, because if you're new also, I bought glasses to tease my husband, because he doesn't like big sunglasses, little sunglasses. He doesn't like anything like that. He likes normal sunglasses, but he doesn't like these because they're tinted, and he says there's no purpose for even wearing them. There you go. Quick rundown.
But right now I'm actually using my real camera. I just figured it's time to bust out this baby again. I go back and forth.
So you spend a lot of money on that camera, and you just don't use that camera. Your phone must be, battery must be dead. That must be what it is.
The reason why I'm filming this video, I literally just woke up. I'm sure you guys can tell because there's a certain way people look when they first wake up. I just really wanted to film this video.
Hey, you're speaking like me. This is the way I look, not when I first wake up, but almost first wake up, and I'm filming a video. How convenient is this? Wow. Amberlynn, don't be talking to me.
So there's this channel that I have been watching for a long time now, almost when they first uploaded their first video. So I've been following this person. I was watching them for, weight loss reasons and this and that. And then they started making videos about me. It was very...
Oh, so you liked watching them until videos about you showed up on their channel, and then you didn't like them anymore. So it was okay as long as they weren't talking about you. Okay.
It was honestly sad, I'm gonna be honest, because I looked up to this person. I liked them as a YouTuber and stuff like that. And then I was like, oh no, another person wants to make YouTube videos about me. And it's like, a part of me wanted to stop watching this person completely. But then I was like, but I've grown to like them. And it was like this weird conflicting thing in my brain. And I continued watching them.
You know what, Amberlynn? That's actually a good thing. And let me tell you why it's a good thing. I mean, if I'm proud of Amberlynn, I say I'm proud of Amberlynn, okay? Because if you watch YouTube, usually you watch YouTube for the person. You don't watch YouTube for the content. And you can then say, you know what? I like the way this person, covers this other person. And you never know. You may end up liking everybody they cover. You never know because you watch somebody for their personality usually. I mean, that's what I do. I watch or I listen. I don't get a full chance to watch people. But that's how I found Amberlynn is I started watching because of somebody else. And it was like, hey, this is kind of interesting to me. And then, you know, that's how I found somebody else was listening to my other person I cover. I was listening to another person. I wasn't interested in the beginning. And then, you know, I slowly fell into it. And then that is what created me being on YouTube. So I have to thank those people. And if I didn't give a chance, then I wouldn't be where I'm at.
And I try my hardest not to watch the videos that they make about me, but it's like I kind of can't stop myself from watching them. I love to hear their opinion or whatever. So the video they uploaded today, I'm hurt by.
Guys, just in case you cannot tell, she is bigger back then, but this is a retro video, and I just found it, like I said, and we're going to talk about it is all we're going to do, and as I say, I give my stories and my opinions is all I do.
So there are some things regarding the video that I want to answer, talk about, maybe make people understand, because I feel like if this one person feels this way, then I'm sure a lot of people feel this way.
You can't change people's opinions just in one video. You change people's opinions by your attitude and by your personality. That's how you change people's feelings, by actions. Words alone can't change them.
Or have these questions, and I don't want it like that because this person called me a liar.
And if they watched enough of you, even back then in this whole thing, that's what you are, Amberlynn. That's what you were. Things haven't changed.
They said that I've been lying about being bedbound and not being bedbound and like all this stuff. And it was just really weird. And it really hurt because I really opened up in my last video. And I know a lot of people appreciated it. And I know a lot of people didn't give a care.
Missy, ma'am, you were bedbound. So they were speaking the truth. Are you upset because somebody spoke the truth to you? Is that what's making you mad? Sounds like it. You just don't like people saying, you know, what the actual reality is. You don't want to face it.
Which is totally fine. Everyone's different. The first and foremost thing that I want to say is being in denial and lying are two completely different things. I was in denial.
So you're rewording the way that people felt, and you're trying to say that you're not a liar, but your actions say differently.
I was in denial that I was bedbound. There are reasons why I didn't think I was at the time, and there are reasons why I understand that I actually was. A big thing though was I was in denial. The best part about losing weight and really focusing in on what matters to you and learning about your body and changing your food intake and being more mobile, and you have to work on your mental state a lot. And I've noticed that being delusional.
But the thing is if I'm not mistaken, at this time was still when Beck was having to still help Amberlynn. And Amberlynn still wasn't getting up and exercising and being that mobile. That's not what Amberlynn was doing. Amberlynn was not trying to make a change. Amberlynn was still full of excuses.
Has been my forte. That has been my jam. I have been completely just like delusioned by all this stuff that I feed myself instead of really opening my eyes to reality. And the reason why I said that I'm probably still in denial on some things is because I probably am.
Y'all wanna know something? There were times back then, actually were, a lot of people trusted Amberlynn and was on Amberlynn's side and was expecting Amberlynn to lose weight, cheering her on and everything. And the more Amberlynn had excuses and the more Amberlynn uses those excuses, the more that people didn't like her and the more videos she had to do like this. And more reaction channels came out and said, Amberlynn, this isn't going to work. And so videos like this come up because she always wanted people to start liking her again so she could get those high views.
Something I've noticed by watching a lot of weight loss channels and also by diving into my own is that a lot of us are kind of delusional. Like when you gain a pound one week, you come up with all these excuses, or if you only lose a pound, you come up with all these excuses when...
Don't you like how instead of saying I, she says us? There's no I. There's us. She's not taking responsibility for herself. She's trying to take responsibility for a group, and that's not true.
Honestly, I don't think people are flat out lying. I would like to hope not. But it's like we are in denial to ourselves. I recently watched a What I Ate Today video by someone I've been following for so long, and everything in their video was super healthy, and I was like, okay, then wouldn't they be smaller?
Amberlynn, what about you? Focus on you. Don't focus on somebody else losing weight. Don't focus on what's going on with somebody else. Focus on yourself in the mirror.
So I started to be a viewer the viewers that I have, because you guys see me film What I Ate Today videos. Like recently I did a What I Ate Today on Instagram, and all my food was really well portioned, and that's what I ate that day. But there's a question of when some of us are filming What I Ate Today videos.
You're lying behind the scenes about what you ate. You've already said you do that. My goodness, Amberlynn. Yeah, I'm going to pay more attention to her now instead of myself, because I got that on that. Wait. All right, you said you lied. Even back then, you said you lied about what you put in your mouth.
Are we in denial of what we truly eat? And are we subconsciously trying to show a healthier, more small portioned type of meals? Because subconsciously we are in denial of how much we eat in a day.
It's not denial with you, Amberlynn. It's lies. That's what it is.
And the reason why I brought that up is because the person later took to Instagram and admitted, I think I am in denial, because normally I wouldn't eat that healthy, and this person subconsciously ate healthier. So I feel like being in denial can go so many different sort of ways, but I just want to let everyone know that I did not lie.
Yes, you did, and you ain't got a team around you because you're not on the defensive line.
100,000,000,000%. It's just I had my own delusion, my own thing going on in my brain. During the time where I was not that mobile, I did not make that unknown. You guys saw the mattress in the living room, where I then told you guys it's because my leg is constantly hurting.
But you weren't honest that you couldn't get yourself up on the couch and feel halfway reasonable comfortable. Now, you were lying, and people knew you were lying.
And it's easier for me to sit on a mattress, and when I want to hang out with my friends, that's also something else. I would go in the living room, but Becky would bring out a mattress for me, and I would sit on it. That was not something I was hiding. It was shown in several vlogs. I explained it in a couple.
No, you didn't. You lied about the mattress, and you tried to keep the mattress away from everybody, and everybody called you out for the mattress, to the point to where you said, okay, I use the mattress in there. Because people called you out. You didn't do it on your own.
I wasn't hiding that. So another thing is, I couldn't breathe. I also was not hiding that. That's why I documented some of my exercising and how I could only walk for a minute and 16 seconds. And then
what about Pillow Mountain? You lied about that. On her bed, there was a stack of pillows that went up in a triangle, and a lot of pillows, a lot of pillows. And everybody asked her about them, and she, kind of denied that that's the only way she could sleep. She couldn't lay on her back to sleep because it was too hard for her to breathe. So she had to sit up, sleep at an angle.
It slowly went up to 3 minutes, and I would even feel myself walking in place, and you guys could hear my breathing. I was also not hiding that. I wasn't hiding the fact that I couldn't fit in a car properly, and sometimes I honestly couldn't even get the door to shut comfortably because...
And you lied about that. You were telling everybody you were just fine and you could get in the car, and she even said, hey, Becky, because right now it was Becky. She was like, hey, Becky, tell them. Yeah, you lied about that. So pretty much everything that she lied about, she's coming clean and saying it's denial. It's not lies. It's denial.
I would be really swollen from my lymphedema because I was eating too much sodium.
Sound familiar? Yeah, I'll pause that really fast. Y'all get down there in that comment section and gripe me out. That's what it's down there for.
Wasn't drinking enough water, just retaining a ton of fluid. I wasn't hiding that either. I talked a lot about how I was so immobile that I feel like if I was more mobile, then my videos would be better, my vlogs would be better, because there wouldn't be so many sit-down videos.
And you were also begging people while you were sitting in bed, begging people, can you give me ideas of what to film? can you tell me what y'all want to watch? And everybody was like, we want to watch you walking Twinkie. We want to watch you go into the park. We want to watch you not be in bed. We want to watch you get up and walk to the living room. That people were asking you for you just to get out of bed.
I said that a lot actually, and I said that a lot in Instagram Q&As because you guys saw a lot of sit down videos from me. You still will continue to see those, but you guys didn't see any videos of me standing or anything, and those are things that I also was not hiding. So it's not like I was hiding this completely different life at all because I was still very open.
You were not open, Amberlynn. No, you were not open. You were trying to make it feel and seem like it was open to you, but you weren't to your audience.
With the struggles that I was having. So when it comes to the word bedbound, I feel like 600 Pound Life has tainted that word for me.
Oh, no. No, ma'am. No, 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 no. Cow patty. No, ma'am.
It made me think of bedbound in a certain way that I didn't know. Again, when I say these things, I was probably just in denial. But at the time, 600 Pound Life portrayed for me, probably because I didn't want to admit it myself at the time, that I was pretty much bedbound. How it portrayed being bedbound to me.
So now, guys, every time she lies now, we need to say, instead of her lying, she's in denial. That's what we need to do. Every time she lies, no, you're in denial that you can't do this. No, you're in denial. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. I hope she don't see this video.
Was you had to have your significant other or pay a friend to come bathe you, and literally physically you had to be helped.
Beck was doing that for you. This video, it didn't land well, Miss Amberlynn. It didn't land well whatsoever at all, because everything that you're saying is denial is actually the truth.
To walk around, and you just literally could not get up, like at all. Like you spent 24 hours a day in your bed. That was it. Point blank period. Couldn't move. So I kind of want to explain the reasons why for, over a year, I consistently said, I don't think I'm bedbound. Again, delusion was in the mix of this, but these are the reasons why.
These are the reasons why you lied to your audience. And your audience, you sat there and you ate Reese's in front of your audience. You ate Snickers. You ate all this and all that and said, well, you know what? It's the binge monster, and I can't help it, and I'm failing. But tomorrow I'm going to get back on my diet. But the whole time you couldn't get out of bed.
I was like, no, I'm not bedbound, and I kept telling myself I wasn't, over and over and over. So chores were really hard for me, but it didn't stop me from doing them completely. If I was sweeping, you guys, it was almost pathetic. I would.
What? Sweeping? You gotta stand up to do that, Amberlynn.
Probably sweep for utmost 20 seconds, sit down. Sweep for 20 seconds, sit down. 20 seconds, sit down. If I was doing the dishes, I was sitting down. If I was cooking, I was sitting down. If I was wiping down the counters, I was sitting down. If I was doing anything, I was sitting down. It doesn't matter what it was.
Why are most of your videos today with you sitting down? Huh? Why aren't you standing up walking when you do your videos? You don't do that.
I was always sitting down when doing any sort of chore. But in my head, I was like, I'm still doing chores, which aren't in my bed. So that makes me not bedbound. So a big thing for me is when I imagined someone as being bedbound, I imagine them not being able to shower. And this is like a constant topic.
Now remember, at this time, she wasn't able to shower. Beck was bringing her buckets of water.
On my channel is like, can she shower? Can she wipe herself? Does Becky help her with these things? Point blank period, no. No, and she never has. I think it's more so like a pride thing within myself. It's almost like no matter how hard it got, I did not want help because it made me feel like less than a person. Like I didn't even feel, I just wouldn't feel human at that point if I was having my own girlfriend wipe my butt for me.
Are you, oh, wow. Oh my. But she was having her do that, so she was telling on herself. Oh my God. I haven't seen these in so long. This is worth posting just for this. Guess what, guys? You're seeing it.
So yes, I still showered, but the thing is, I could not wash my hair and my body on the same day. So I told myself, well, you're able to wash your body, even though it hurts and you have to take a million breaks. You're able to do it. You're able to wash your hair.
You would just say you're washing your hair, wrap it up in a towel, and then say, hey guys, I just got done washing my hair. The whole time it was just up in a towel.
Even though it hurts and you have to take several breaks and you have to hurry up in the shower because you're literally dying in there, you're still doing it like a normal person. You're literally in the shower. So that's another reason why I was like, no, of course I'm not bedbound. There were times that I left the house. You guys saw that. Like, you guys have been on my channel for I don't know how long. So you guys did see me.
But you were leaning over the seat the whole time, this like close up to Beck the entire time in Beck's space, which was completely and totally dangerous to be driving down the road doing that. So you were endangering yourself and Beck, which wasn't fair.
During that time where I was bedbound, delusional Lynn, where I was bedbound, I would leave the house. And it wasn't a lot, obviously not. I mean, I still don't leave the house a lot now. Like, I do, it's grocery shopping, dates here and there.
No, you send Beck everywhere. That's what you would do. Your little errand person. Yep, you send Beck everywhere.
See friends. I don't have this big glorious life, but back then, I wouldn't leave the house that much. Maybe once a month.
Things have not changed. Things have not changed. She'll go to Bango. Pretty much it. Things have not changed. Carousel.
Twice a month. And, you know, I would go to holidays with Becky's family and we would go on dates, but I would say probably like a date would probably be once every 2 months, which is not good because I feel like in a relationship you need to have that like date moment. And of course you can have the dates inside of your house. I'm not saying you can't do that, but
so that's why I say it's kind of like, is it a girlfriend situation or was it more of a caretaker situation? Because Beck was required to take care of Amberlynn. Bottom line, that's what Beck's job was in my eyes, because Beck was getting paid to be there with Amberlynn.
Sometimes it's nice to go out, whether it be see a movie, grab lunch, whatever. So I also convinced myself, well, I do leave the house sometimes, and people who are bedbound literally can't even fit in a car, even if it does hurt. Like I said, 600-pound life like warped my brain, and I'm not saying it's their fault.
Everybody said you were 600 pounds already, and you said, no, I'm not, but you wouldn't get on a scale and prove it to everybody that you weren't 600 pounds. You would just say, I'm not 600 pounds. Beck didn't even know what you weighed at half the time.
It's my fault because I was in denial and I would compare myself to these people all the time. And it's like I would see these people who were bedbound, like they had to put mattresses in the back of a car and they had to lay on them and they couldn't fit in the seats of the car. And it's like,
you had to put a mattress in the living room because you couldn't get yourself up on the couch. So how is that any different?
I kept telling myself, well, I can fit in the seat. I can fit in the passenger seat. Yeah, it hurts to close the door, but that doesn't mean I'm bedbound. I even went to Lexington and vlogged it. That was during the time where
she went to Lexington and she vlogged it, but the entire time they stayed in a hotel room, did really nothing fun, and Amberlynn ate the entire time. Didn't let Beck go out and do anything. That was a vacation to her. That was a getaway for her. To go to Lexington and eat.
I was working as hard as I could on becoming more mobile. So I thought by staying in a hotel, okay, I kind of sort of have to walk down the long hallways and I have to stand in the elevator and I have to walk through the big lobby and I have to wait for the valet to give us our car and all this stuff. So I thought it was a good way for me to be mobile.
And the people in the comments tore you up. Because all you did was stay in the room and order food the entire time. That's all you did. Or you went to Target. Yeah, you went to Target because that's what you needed to do. People tore you up for it.
while also being lazy and eating whatever food I wanted, because when I went to Lexington, I was a glutton. It was really bad. You guys saw that video because I did a what I ate on vacation video, but that was when I was trying my hardest to also work on my mobility. So
she can have every excuse in the world. It does not matter. People were not happy with her, and what I ate in day video was longer than what I did in Lexington video, her vlog. It was a lot longer because she ate a lot. She bought something that was a fudge brownie, and she thought that it was going to be like cookie dough, you know, you can eat and stuff. It was an actual brownie fudge, that it wasn't an ice cream or anything like that. And she got upset that she ordered that because it was an uncooked brownie. She got upset because she didn't know what she was ordering. She thought she was ordering something else. Who does that? Who just orders because they feel like having, you know, a certain thing? Doesn't even read the menu, doesn't even read what she's buying. She's just like, I want this, so I'm going to order it. That's Amberlynn.
I think I used the hotel of like, oh, I'm going to like walk in the hotel as an excuse just to eat. But again, denial. It's just part of, I feel like it's a big part of why people get the weight that I am or was.
It's not denial when you have everybody in your comments saying, get up and do something. And when you're asking people, what should I do? And they say, get up and do something. It's not denial. You just proved you could get up and walk, so they're saying, get up and do something. You wouldn't.
But since I went to Lexington and I was able to sit in the car for 2 hours and this and that, I was like, people who are bedbound can't do that. I would do my makeup. I would do my hair. I would put on cute outfits. I would do on try-on hauls. I would do all these things, and I convinced myself bedbound people cannot do that.
And you were also buying clothes and getting upset because the normal size would fit you. You'd buy a size 4. I don't understand this because I wear a size 4. No, you didn't. 4 did not fit you. So you would say, oh, when I lose just a little bit of weight, it'll fit. You ended up giving those clothes away. You didn't send them back to Torrid because you didn't want to look bad. They would sit in they would hang in a rack in your room so that when you lost weight because you knew you were going to lose weight, that you could wear them. I don't see those clothes. Even till today, I don't see those clothes. Those clothes went bye-bye. So, no ma'am.
So you guys, these are the reasons where I was like, of course I'm not bedbound. Hi. You know, it was not me lying, and I don't want people to think that at all. I was delusional. I was in denial. Like, those are like the pivotal words of this video. So again, being a liar and being in denial are two completely different things.
And you know what? A liar will say, I'm not a liar. I didn't lie. I told you the truth. Oh, no, man, I might not have told you the truth, but I told you partial truth. I didn't lie totally. I told you a fib. That's my favorite one. I just fibbed a little. That's my favorite.
And I guess I should have like explained myself better, but you know, I was like cooking my food and I was just like super happy that I was able to, you know, do it without keeling over. So there are some questions I want to answer that the person kind of mentioned in the video. I have them written down before me.
You were bragging about how much money you made because she was getting over 100,000 views. So she was bragging about how much money she made and she wouldn't even have to get out of bed.
So why now say you're a bedbound, and can you explain more of the timelines? Because I noticed when they were talking, the timelines were getting kind of messed up, which I'm really bad at timelines too. So I'm not afraid to admit that. So my biggest time of being bedbound, you know what? I also want to explain the reason why I'm calling it bedbound now is because in actuality, probably down to the definition, I was bedbound.
You're admitting that you were at bedbound the entire time, so you can't still be in denial. You weren't in denial at the time. You knew what it was because people were saying that to you. And so you knew, you were like, yeah, I can't really get up. Yeah, you know, I stayed in bed all day. How many times did you tell everybody, yeah, I didn't get out of bed today? Yeah, I hold my urine and I don't go to the bathroom a lot. How many times did you tell people that? A lot. And people were wondering why you said that if you were not bedbound.
At the time, I didn't think I was because the delusion, whatever, but I was. So I'm glad that I was able to admit that to myself. And after I was able to admit that to myself, I was able to talk to you guys about it. So that's why it's taken me some time and this and that. But 2018 is when it was at its peak. When I stayed in the bed most of the time, my leg was hurting really bad. I had no idea what was causing it. And that is when it was literally at its peak.
And see, once again, she's talking about her lymphedema, or whatever she's talking about. And remember, when she stands up, or when she rides in a car, or she eats too much sodium, or she gets too much water, remember all that. That's what makes her swell. But yet she laid in bed the entire time.
2019 is when it slowly stopped because my leg wasn't hurting as bad. And during that time when my leg stopped hurting, that is when my lymphedema got really bad. And it just started growing more and more, which made me not want to leave the house. I didn't want to do anything because I was so embarrassed. And it's like, I'm just to the point where I have to accept it because lymphedema is not something that can go away.
So it went from bedbound to, okay, I'm no longer bedbound, but now I have something else that is wrong with me. So she's got another excuse of from bedbound to, all right, I can't stand up now and I'm embarrassed to leave the house. So it went from I can't to I'm embarrassed.
It can get smaller with weight loss, and that's a big pivotal moment where I'm really focusing on that. So once my legs started feeling better, my lymphedema was growing, I still did not have any stamina. You guys saw that for yourself because I documented a lot of walking in 2019. You guys saw that.
Yeah, and you got a lot of views off of it, and like you've said in the past, the most views you got was body shots and mukbangs.
So that is when I was trying to work on my mobility, which I'm sure you guys noticed. And it was towards the end of 2019, obviously, where it started to get better because I started to work harder at it. So why I say that I'm bedbound now, it's because all of this has been a process. It's a process that I have went through.
Do y'all like the way that I'm coming back and saying what was happening back then and explaining it? Or do you like it whenever I just do the short little intermissions and say no? Or, no, that's not what happened. Do you like the explanation better? If y'all don't mind, will you please go down in the comments and let me know? Because I'll continue explaining when I do these retros. I will. I have no problem if that's what you would like better. Just please let me know.
Behind closed doors, me having to admit these things to myself. And after admitting them to myself, working through the emotions, of course I want to share that with you guys because that is a big part in my journey. And I don't want to glorify just, the happy parts, like, oh, look at me, I'm able to walk, or oh, look at me, I'm eating an apple. Like, it's stupid. Like, I want to be able to tell you guys, like, hey.
And the thing is she couldn't say hey because by this time everybody was already upset with her. And they were catching on to her excuses that she was given. And they were tired of hearing the excuses, and she was getting less and less of, you can do this, Amberlynn. I have faith in you, Amberlynn. She was getting less and less of that, and she was like, oh, crap, I'm seeing my numbers not going so high, so obviously people are getting upset. And when ching ching starts going away, then yeah, she was trying to worry.
I used to only be able to wash my body and my hair like on separate days because I couldn't do it in the same day because I was too big and I couldn't breathe and I was in too much pain. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to talk about those things with you guys.
She just repeated herself again. See, this is something I can do now. See, and then, I was in denial, but I can do it. No, she couldn't.
So another question is, why lose weight now? What made you want to lose weight now? And I feel like it's kind of a silly question, mainly because it's like, I've always wanted to lose weight for the same reason. Enough is enough. I don't want to die.
No, because your views started going to crap and your chain started going down. Go ahead and be honest. You were losing money and you didn't like it.
Point blank, period. Those things have always been my reason, and I feel like they should be everyone's reason. Like, you want to live a long, healthy, happy life. But wanting and doing are two separate things, obviously. Just because I wanted to lose weight so bad for these reasons, something just has to click. How I always imagined it is like there's a little screw in your brain. and it's just chilling in there.
Does this sound like the same Amberlynn? Has anything changed over the years whatsoever at all? You see anything different? Or do you feel other excuses that have just traveled through time with her?
It's trying to find, you know, the spot where it's supposed to belong. And you try all these little diets and this and that. And like, nothing ever clicks. And then all of a sudden the screw goes right where it belongs. And it just clicks right in its place. And somehow you're just like, this is it. This is the time. You guys, I'm going to be 30 this year. In December, I'm going to be 30. 30 to me used to be so old. Like, I used to think, oh my God, 30 is so old. And now that's going to be me.
You know what? Somebody called me old, an old lady. And I looked right at him and I said, this old lady can still get your goat. You better watch yourself. Because he was mouthing off to me. My son goes, huh, I'm bigger than her. I'm scared of her. You better run, little man.
And it's like, the only way I will see my 40s is if I do it now. I completely wasted my 20s, but do I also want to waste my 30s? Because I only see myself getting worse if I don't do it now. So that's why it's clicked finally. Another thing that they mentioned is that when I talk about my lymphedema or when I talk about being bedbound, I seem to laugh.
Completely, because it was an excuse. Absolutely, it was an excuse. She didn't take anything serious. Nothing medical was taken serious. It was, oh, I can get away with anything and everything. And she could. Oh, I was doing great in my diet. I lost 5 pounds. And then the BINGE monster hit me last night. And I ate this, and this. But you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow I'm going to start all over. And there were people that would believe her in that over and over and over and over. And it was all a lie.
While I do it, I take it lighthearted, supposedly, and stuff like that, which I actually understand because I don't notice that I do those things. Like I do like a little chuckle or like a little giggle after certain things that I say that are serious topics. And I don't even notice it until I'm either A, editing my video, or B, people are pointing it out to me.
Editing videos. Still to this day. That one's a joke.
So that just indicates I really honestly think that it's like a habit, a nervous habit, because that's thoroughly the only thing I can think of. Because while I'm talking about these things, I don't think it's funny. Obviously, I do not find humor in me being bedbound, immobile, lymphedema, my health in general.
You found humor in being able to lie to all of these people, just being able to go ahead and get their views, even if it was Hater Nation. You still got to be able to get their views and you still got that paycheck in your bank.
So I really honestly think it's just a nervous habit. So if I offend anyone while I'm doing that, please just don't take it to heart. Like I don't even notice I'm doing it. See, the thing is,
just like the smug little grin you got on your face halfway through this, don't take it to heart.
You guys didn't see the tears, the anxiety attacks, me feeling.
This right here is why whenever she says, I have anxiety attacks, all my anxiety, I had panic attacks, I had anxiety attacks. You know, I went through, a panic attack last night. Or I was on stream and I had a panic attack. This is exactly why I do not believe her with the words anxiety or panic. Because she would say, I'm having a panic attack. And she'd sit there. Guys, I'm panicking. She'd sit there. And I'm sitting here going, how are you panicking? Where's your panic attack? Where's your anxiety? Guys, I'm having an anxiety attack. My anxiety is really, really high. I don't know how I'm controlling my anxiety right now. Especially when the COVID hit. This is how she was. This is not anxiety. This is not panic. This is the reason why I do not believe her anytime she says she's having one.
Just completely trapped and miserable. And you guys didn't see that part. I didn't show that part because of several different reasons.
You showed that part and everybody called you out on it because it wasn't a daggum attack like you said it was. People called you out like crazy because they're like, Amberlynn, what are you calling this? What are you saying this is? Because it wasn't anything you said it was.
A, I didn't want to be that vulnerable. B, it's like I get told I do crocodile tears a lot, which I have never faked cried on camera. I've never faked cried in person. I don't know how.
Get it now? Back then, she was called out for crocodile tears. She fakes everything, and she fakes panic. Do you understand why I don't believe her now? From way back then, I didn't believe her, and I don't believe her now. This is why when I find videos like this is why I continue doing it. This is why it's really long. This is why I explain it to you. This is why I go ahead and upload it. Because I go, see? This is what I'm talking about. See? This is why I call her out. See? This is why there's manipulation so much. See? And so you get to learn Amberlynn a lot better and why I cover Amberlynn, why I talk about Amberlynn, because she's nothing but lies on camera and behind camera. She is nothing but manipulating. She's an emotional manipulator that will just eat at you emotionally, physically, mentally. She will eat at you.
I don't know how people do it. Like, good job, actors and actresses, because I'm definitely not stealing your paycheck because I can't do it. So sometimes it's easier to not be super vulnerable on camera when it comes to things that are like really deep, because people call you a liar, say you're doing it for views, this and that. So you guys didn't see all of the craziness.
We do see her getting on TikTok doing the acting challenge where it's one person here and it says read the lines in between and it's going to be like an acting challenge. Yes, we did see her do that. Yes, in it there was ones where she had to be really, really sad. Yes, did she get tears in her eyes? Yes, she did.
Regarding that. So I feel like maybe also when I talk about these things, I'm a little numb. Like, I'm proud that I'm no longer, you know, super immobile. I'm not out here, you know, running 5 miles, but I'm also able to do things I wasn't able to do before. So it shows growth.
No, because there was absolutely nothing that she was proven at the time. Nothing was proven at the time. It was just her, okay, I can take steps from here to here. I can get out of the bed and go to this room. She maybe kind of made it down the stairs, but she would trip going up the stairs. So what was trying to be proven?
And I just think that I spent so much time crying and just everything just like flooded in at once that I just feel like I don't feel the way I used to about it because I've worked on it off of camera. So if you guys don't see me being emotional about it, or you guys see me just being nonchalant, it's not because I'm nonchalant or don't care or whatever it may have you. It's because I've already worked on this.
The only thing she worked on, as admitted later, was being the NGE monster and being mean, absolutely mean to Beck. That's what she worked on.
And I did it off of camera. So this person also was questioning if I ever was truly higher than 572.4, which is my highest weight, because they were saying, well, since she was bedbound, she should have gained more weight. How did she only stay at that weight?
And Amberlynn, before she even says a word, she's the one said, I don't know because I never got on the scale. I quit getting on it. So Amberlynn did say she didn't know.
That doesn't make any sense. There is a certain point of calories that your body needs to maintain a weight. Clearly, I was staying around those calories because I wouldn't weigh myself for, I feel like weeks. I didn't go any further than that usually because I was really worried that I was going to reach 600 pounds. And every time I weighed myself, it was never higher than 572.4.
But she absolutely refused to show any kind of proof, even to Beck. Absolutely refused.
So I think when it comes to my binging and my calorie consumption, I never went past that limit of gaining weight, if that makes sense. So I'm just throwing numbers out of my head because I truly don't know.
So all those, she'd get a package, you know, those snack size Snicker bars where the snack size come in like 5 to a package. She would get like 4 or 5 of those, and she'd be like, oh, I'm just going to eat one. And then she'll go, look, I ate all of these. I ate all of these. I ate a pint of ice cream. I ate 2 ramen noodles. No way that's within your calorie limit. No way.
Let's say 6,000 calories a day is what keeps you at 570 pounds. So obviously I wasn't going over that. And if I was, the next day I probably was only eating 4,000. So it made me...
Okay, guys, let's work this out. Right now, when she has the BINGE, she eats 4,000 a day, right? And so back then, to maintain what she was, some days she would eat 4,000, and she was maintaining her weight. And the most she would eat was 6,000 a day to maintain her weight. How does that make sense? Normally eat 4,000, but she'd eat 5,000 or 6,000. How does that make sense? If she's eating 4,000 and only occasionally eating 6,000, how does that make sense? She shouldn't be maintaining, she should still be losing. See why people said she's 600? But she would not weigh herself and let somebody see her weight.
Balance on the 570s. And every time I'd step on the scale, no matter when it was, 572.4 was never bypassed. And I get questioned so much about that. And it's like, you guys, I've lost weight now. Don't you think that I would love more than anything to be like, I am down way more weight actually because I was higher than 572.4. Like, I'd love to throw that in people's faces.
No, you wouldn't, because you don't want anybody to know or even think that you were 600 pounds. You would be ashamed to be 600 pounds because that's one thing you would never admit to anybody because you stood strong and hard that you never was that way.
And just be like, I've lost more weight than only so-and-so pounds. Like, I would love to do that. So another question they asked is, did I ever have sores on my legs? No. That is something that when I watch 600 Pound Life, I question.
Obsessed with that show. Absolutely obsessed with that show. Non-stop. She compared her life to 600 Pound Life. No matter what it was. I watched this and this happened. Dr. Now did this. Dr. Now said 1,200 calories. Dr. Now said if you want to lose weight, you got to do a liquid diet. You know, it was constantly. But she wouldn't follow Dr. Now's rules. She just constantly compared herself to the patients.
Like, why didn't I ever get those things? Like, I don't ever get random sores on my body just randomly or anywhere. Legs, stomach, like, it doesn't even matter. If I have a sore, there's a reason. I'm sure if you guys have been around long enough, you guys know that I have an issue. Like, if I get a cat scratch, I cannot stop picking it. Or if I get a mosquito bite, I'll itch it so much that it turns into a scab and then I can't stop picking it and then it gets bigger and bigger.
I thought if a cat scratches you, you get cellulitis. I thought that's what you said. A cat scratch gets you cellulitis. But now then a cat scratch is just a sore. So your body has progressed that much? It went from a sore to cellulitis? Okay.
I'm sure you guys have been around for all that, but I've never had a random sore just pop up on my body ever. I mean, I'm telling you, if that was to ever happen, I would probably get freaked out. So it's weird to see so many people on 600 Pound Life get that. I don't know what that is. Like,
bed sores from laying in bed all the time, and you wouldn't know because you never checked yourself. Plus, Beck was always there to help you. You know, Beck cleaned you up. Beck was, you know, brought you stuff to clean yourself with. Beck did all that.
Drop dead serious. So in the video, they also asked, how much time do you spend in your bed now? Before I go to sleep, I want to say about 4 to 5 hours I'm in my bed, and it's before I go to sleep. And during that time, I'm editing, I'm talking with Becky, and that's like our time to like...
Alright, now you know you all off in your la la land, because editing is when you go and put that little boop that says Amberlynn Reid. That's your editing.
Talk together and hang out. Sometimes we'll play games or just like talk about our day or talk about life or talk about the freaking Pluto and Saturn. But yeah, that's catch up on YouTube videos, catch up on shows or read or write. I've been doing a lot of writing lately.
Or you would make Beck sit in the room with you playing choosy. Remember? Or plucking at your clothes. Remember? That's what you would have Beck do.
Like a lot of people throughout their day probably do these things. Like someone might watch 2 YouTube videos then, but then they do all this stuff and then they sit down and watch a movie and like all this stuff. But I just do all mine in like a eclectic time and it's always right before I go to bed. That could be a big reason why I have trouble sleeping. So it's something I do need to work on.
So what else do you do during the day is the question. Nobody knows what else you do. At all. This thing vibrates my eye. But nobody else knows what you do. So that's what people are wondering. How much time do you spend in your bed? Because we don't see you hardly do anything else. Sometimes you'll sit at the kitchen table. Or you'll be in the kitchen. That's about it.
But yeah, being in my bed for only 4 hours out of a full day, sometimes even less than 4 hours to be honest, is marvelous, literally, compared to how I used to be. I would be in bed, sleeping, eating, doing anything. That's all it was me being in bed.
You know, watching her back then, it makes me think now, and I think that's why it bothers me so much, is she lied to me for so many years. Just downright lied to me. Outright lied to me. So I think that's why it bothers me so much, is because I watched her and I had faith in her. And now then I get to look at her and be like, you just lied to me. All these times that I was like, you can do this, Amberlynn. You can get up and walk. You can get up, and whenever Eric goes on a walk, you can go walking with Eric. You can take Twinkie for a walk. You can do all this. Just put on shoes. Don't say that you wore the wrong shoes. Don't say stuff like that. Just get up and walk. That's what I used to do. I joined everything when she did a fitness pal. I joined that when she did pineapple pinup, whenever she did her Instagram. I joined all that stuff. And now look at me. And I think that's why I talk about her now and I tell the truth from back then, because it's the same thing now. And I don't want people, if people come across me and they're new to Amberlynn, I'm like, hey, this is what I experienced back then. And I don't want you to be a supporter of her and not understand it's the same thing.
And now when I wake up, I purposely, the first thing I do is I do some chores. That's just what I prefer doing. Clean the kitchen, whatever it may be.
No, you don't. The boys do that. The boys and Beck clean the kitchen, but it's mainly the boys because Ricky is the one that cooks all the time. So, no, you don't. You're lying.
And then I'll have breakfast. Sometimes I'll get ready first, or sometimes I'll have breakfast first. It honestly just depends. I'm trying to create a schedule for myself instead of just like going off on the willy-nilly.
She's always trying to do a schedule for herself. Y'all notice that? Always. It's a schedule. I need a schedule. She still ain't got a schedule.
And I will not sit in my bed during the day because it makes me go back to those times and I don't like it. But when I sit in there at night, I feel a little bit more like, okay, this makes more sense, because Eric and Ricky does the same thing. We almost split off and go into our rooms at the same time. That's just what feels better to me. And I don't want to sit in there during the day because I don't want to go back to those bad habits and whatever it may be. So that is pretty much everything that I wanted to like clarify, because I truly feel like a lot of people were probably thinking and wondering these things.
People were already calling you out for these things, and you're only answering them because somebody did a video over you. You're not doing this because of your subscribers. You're not doing this because of your audience. You're doing this because somebody made a video over you and you actually like that person. And you're like, okay, I want to go ahead and I want to address this now because I like this person, and hopefully this person will do another video and understand that they don't have to not like me. I'm a good person. I can do right.
So hopefully this video made you guys understand a little bit more that I was just very much in denial and I was in delusional land, and I'm really trying to work on that part of myself even more. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Bye, Amberlynn. Did y'all like that? Did y'all like that one? I kind of like that one. when I saw it, now that when I saw it, I was like, hopefully this one will be a good one. And now that I've gone through it, yep, it's getting uploaded to you. And so this is one you're gonna see. Yay! And you're gonna get to see me do this stuff because I want to put sunscreen on my face because, yeah, a friend of mine didn't have a really good experience. I used to not do this. I used to get up and just run outside, and I learned my lesson through a friend of mine. So that's why I go through this stuff, because I'm not a girly girl, but I'm learning. I'm learning to take care of your skin when you're outside. But anyways, I want to go ahead and say I hope y'all enjoy this. And seriously, honestly, get in my comment section. Go down there and tell me, do you like these long ones where I explain things to you? Or do you want me to go back to the short, snappy, snippy ones? Because I don't mind. That's up to you. But if you're new, then I think you would want to see this stuff, because I find it interesting going back and finding videos like this, but you may not, so it's up to you. Y'all let me know, and that's what I'll do, because I'm just here for your entertainment and my fun. I like finding stuff like this and seeing where it goes. I do. Y'all don't know how many times I use my little, y'all know about this thing by now. New video. That's what I do to myself, so I know where to pick up for the next one. And that we're ending up with this. But alright, I have jabbed enough in this one, so I don't need to gab no more. So I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, holiday, year, whenever you might be watching this. And remember to smile today, or make somebody else smile, because it really can make a difference. Alright, I gotta get to the feed store. And I got to do a few other things. And then I'll come back and I'll take care of this and get it up to you when I get a chance. So, alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this. And I'll find a couple more of these to do, hopefully. Getting through this. And why am I saying hopefully so much? I have no idea. Because I'm out in La La Land because it's early. Alright guys, y'all make sure you have a good one. And get down there and subscribe to me if you like this. Get down there and do it so we can have a little bit of fun on my channel. Because that's what I'm here for. Alright guys, bye!